Hello everybody, this is Gary Hallican here, and I know I haven't done a toy review in quite some time, but we've got something cool to look at today. We are looking at a couple figures from the Final Faction series, and this is, believe it or not, Dollar Tree's own action figure line. So, of course, Dollar Tree, the place where everything costs $1, so these figures are, of course, $1 each as well. The premise of the series seems to be basically G.I. Joe versus aliens, which is a cool thing. And as indicated here, if you can see it there, there is a cartoon that goes with this series. So it's a CG animated cartoon. The first episode is about 10 minutes, and I guess it's okay. It wasn't that bad. It's a staggering achievement, I suppose, when you consider that it's Dollar Tree that did this. So there are actually a lot of figures in this first wave here, a number to collect in the set. So you can see there are 4 humans, and there's 1 mech, and then there are 3 aliens so far in wave 1. And according to the Final Faction Instagram, there are more waves coming in 2021. Something that's not mentioned here on the package is that there are several weapons packs as well. So if we look on the mech here, you can see that there are a number of ports on him. So you can buy the weapons packs and attach those. There's weapons for the mech, and there's, as well as there are some guns for the humans and some guns for the aliens as well. And of course, all of those are $1 each as well. So for not very much money, you can complete the whole set. I've only picked up a couple figures so far, but we're going to take a look at those. Because of the fact that my Dollar Tree had a lot of these, and also because of the fact that maybe I'll get some for Christmas, who knows, I'm going to go ahead and tear these open, and we'll see how they are. So first off, we've got Specialist Shift. She is so far the only woman in the series, but according to the Instagram page, there is another one coming next year sometime. You can see her bio there. She's from the mountains of East Asia. So we'll tear her open and see what we get. It's been a while since I've opened a carded figure like this, so it's going to be fun. Alright, so here she is out of the package, and there goes my backdrop. Don't look at what's behind it there. Give me a second, and we'll try to get it set back up. Okay, so now my backdrop is set back up, and we've got Shift out of the package here, and I'm happy to say that she stands on her own very nicely. She looks, her outfit at least looks a little bit like Scarlet from G.I. Joe, in my opinion. That's possibly intentional. One thing you'll see here on her face, the only paint on her face, if I get it to focus, there we go. The only paint on her face is a little bit of black to indicate the eyes and her eyebrows. And I can tell you that at least in my local Dollar Tree, this particular one had the eyes painted as close to where they should actually be as any of the specimens there. All the other ones, the eyes were way too high or way too low or misplaced somehow. So that's something to watch for. But she looks pretty good. Got pretty good detail. No paint on the back there. Red on the front. Green gloves. Unfortunately, though, one thing that she doesn't have in common with G.I. Joe's is knees or elbows. So she doesn't have any knees or elbows. The only articulation is swivel at the shoulder and at the hips. Can't go back at all, just forward at the hips. And she does turn her head a little bit. Her hair is going to hinder that. You can see her hair there. But otherwise, not too bad though. Fairly good looking figure. Does stand really well, so that's really nice. As for accessories, she comes with this sort of backpack here that is containing 2 swords. And so let's see if we can plug that in. Looks like her hair is going to get in the way a little bit. Or a lot, in fact. There we go, though. We've got it plugged in. So that is actually Well, looks like that keeps her head turned to one side once you've got that plugged in there. So her hair is in the way of that. But with her two swords on her back there, that is actually cartoon accurate, believe it or not. So in the first episode, she does wear the two swords on her back. So let's take them out and see if she can hold them. That would be a big surprise here for dollar action figures if they can actually hold their weapons. And not bad. It looks like she can get a grip on them there. Well, it fell out immediately, but it's something at least. There we go. We've got that one. And there we go. All right, so she can hold her swords. So again, I've encountered several cheap action figures in the past that can't do that, so that's a big plus for her. They are bent a little bit out of the package, but they're soft plastic. You could bend them back into place pretty easy. All right, so not bad. That is Specialist Shift. So the other one that I picked up that we'll take a look at is the Augmented Combat Rescue mech. So this is the mech in the series, and if you read the bio there, you'll see that it is piloted remotely by a teenager. So you do see that in the first episode of the show. So we'll get him out and see what it looks like. And I can tell you first off, the mech is quite a bit heavier than Shift there. It's pretty solid plastic to it. He looks somewhat similar to a Gem from Gundam, I would say. I'd say the mech could almost maybe pass for one of the Gem variants from Gundam. Maybe a little bit there. He's got the same articulation as Shift did. Just swivel at the shoulders, forward at the hips. You can actually go back at the hips a little bit. Turn at the head, but not very much at all. That's about as far as the head will go. But there is a lot of good detail on him here. You might be able to see there's some battle damage detail, which is pretty neat. And he comes in some cool colors there. So I think it's a pretty good figure, especially for $1. Unfortunately, the Augmented Combat Rescue mech doesn't come with any accessories, so you've got to buy the weapons packs in order to arm him up there. But he's in pretty good scale with Shift. You would expect a mech to be a little bit larger than its human teammates there. So there you have a couple of the Final Faction figures. We'll do some size comparisons. So here is a classic M. Bison from the classic G.I. Joe Street Fighter series. And he's actually got more trouble standing than these dollar figures do. But you can see there that they're in pretty good scale with each other. So these Final Faction figures would scale well with your G.I. Joes. Here is a standard 12-ounce beverage can. Give you an idea there. And as always, here is John Cena. So he tends to tower over most figures that I review, and he does once again, of course, there. All right, so these are the Dollar Tree Final Faction figures. Let me know in the comments if you're going to pick any of these up. I might think about picking up more of them. If I don't get them for Christmas, we'll see what happens. All right, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next review.